Conversation here on Lagos Television. I am Abimbola Bello.
Good morning, everyone, and thank you for joining us. I am Ajibola Ojeshola.
Good morning and welcome. I am Joy Olu.
Joy, has that traffic cleared? I understand that road yesterday was another.
Oh,
It was a killer. Well, I'm sure
I
you didn't leave
didn't.
the
I didn't
house
know. No, I went out
yesterday.
yesterday, but we left early in the morning. There was no traffic. I'm
and
coming
and
back
coming
to
back
come back at
also.
night.
Okay,
No traffic.
perhaps maybe it was way after your
Okay,
exes.
no, the one you're talking about, the Shagamu Ibadan. Is that what you're
No,
talking
no, no.
about?
I think I heard the report that there was a very bad traffic on the Lagos Ibadan Expressway.
It
So
should be
perhaps it
the
maybe was
Shagamu, the
much
Ibadan.
later,
No, my side is
maybe
like the
after.
VGC area. You know, reach there.
What did I just go? Why did I? I'm not going to say anything.
I
Jibola,
think
don't worry.
that Lagos Ibadan Expressway might need some spiritual cleansing. Honestly, I do not envy those of you living in that part of the country, not that part of the state, because Lagos Ibadan Expressway is actually far away from Lagos. It is in Ogun State, where Joy lives.
It's not far. It's just
Okay.
a
Really, it's not far.
It's not far.
I mean, so again, sometimes we are always quick to drag God into some of our man-made issues. We've also realized that a couple of these things are man-made. They're things that can actually be avoided.
Yeah.
A lot of these drivers also need to do things right. That many of them drive under the influence. Many of them are tired. They should be sleeping. Many of them are reckless, impatient, and it just, some you see some things and you know that this one was something that could have been avoided. And I think we just need to do better. And again, those that should actually be on the watch out.
Honestly, we need to do better, because oftentimes we always blame government for some of our challenges, forgetting that we are also government unto ourselves, and we need to do certain things to make life better for all of us as well.
Right, welcome to the show. Let's begin by taking our news points for today. Ajibola, let's start with you.
All right, we're starting with insecurity all the way in Niger State. Tinubu orders coordinated rescue of Niger abducted worshippers. President Bola Tinubu on Tuesday directed the armed forces, the Nigerian Police Force, the Department of State Services, and all relevant security and intelligence agencies to immediately launch a coordinated rescue operation for the victims of the recent mass abduction in Niger State. Scores of worshippers were reportedly seized from a mosque and dozens of others killed in a coordinated attack on multiple villages in the community. Special Advisor to the President on Information and Strategy, Bayo Ononuga, revealed the fresh directive in a statement he signed on Tuesday, titled President Tinubu condemns a mass abduction in Niger State, orders immediate rescue operation. The president expressed outrage over the abduction and killing of innocent citizens by criminal elements in the state, describing the attackers in the strongest terms. Those who carried out this cowardly attack on defenseless Nigerians are enemies of peace and enemies of humanity who will not go scot-free, he said. He commiserated with the families of those killed in the attack, saying, I extend my deepest condolences to the families of those who were killed in these barbaric assaults and pray that Almighty God grant them eternal rest and grant their loved ones the fortitude to bear this loss. He assured the affected families and communities that the nation stood with them in their grief and would not relent until the victims were recovered. You are not alone. The entire nation shares your anguish. We will not rest until your sons, daughters, mothers, and fathers are brought back safely to you. The president directed the service chiefs to give him regular briefings on the progress on the rescue operation until those abducted were accounted for. Terror will not cow Nigeria. We will defend our people, protect our communities, and uphold the sanctity of human life. Suspected terrorists invaded communities in Bogu local government area of Niger State on Friday, August 21st, 2026, attacking mosque during Jumat prayers and abducting worshippers, including the village head and the chief imam, before moving on to raid the neighboring villages of Dekara, Gindan, Sabongida, and Masaka. More than 40 people were killed across the affected communities, while over 100 others were abducted and marched into nearby forest. That's a whole lot. 40 people killed, according to these reports in Niger State and several communities were also attacked by the terrorists. So Mr. President is here again, giving the marching orders to security chiefs to do the needful and ensure that these abductees were brought back safely. And of course, he also commiserated with those who lost their loved ones in this particular attack. And, you know, it's becoming a recurring decimal for me. And after that of Uriri, we had some peace, and now the attackers are back again, killing innocent Nigerians and, of course, abducting people for a ransom. So this particular directive, again, coming from Mr. President, shall we be hopeful that these people would also be rescued, just like we had in Oyo State, in Owerri local government?
I'm probably just going to respond to what you said concerning the fact that it is becoming a recurring decimal where people are abducted, people are killed, people are taken for ransom. And many times we hear Mr. President say, you know, give marching order, giving a directive, and it's not...
Much with action.
I don't want to say not matched with action, but you would assume that these things we should have overcome these issues at this particular point of time in our history. But it looks like when we make several efforts forward, and then it feels like we're winning the war, something will happen and we will retrogress, and it will just feel like, are we sure we're on top of this situation? I know there is a whole lot. You know, the security chiefs are battling with a whole lot. Our officers are battling with a whole lot. Communities are battling with a whole lot. Even the vigilantes are battling with a whole lot. But the question again to ask is, it feels like some people are just somewhere benefiting from this thing. We read it yesterday where NFIU said, you know, people are getting funds, people are getting weapons, people are getting feeding facts from issues like this. So as long as people continue to benefit from things like this, we'll continue to have these issues until there's probably a war or something that would maybe break the funding pattern. But as long as people continue to get ransom, as long as people continue to get weapons and all of these things will continue to happen. And like the Yorubas will say, any con lo mo. We might just not feel it because it is not happening to us like that. But for those who are the family members, they know what it is they are going through. But we just do hope that, yes, all of the things Mr. President continues to say every day will continue to be matched with more actions, and perhaps someday soon we will finally be out of this very worrisome situation.
Joy.
The second, okay, Joy, anything to add?
I'm just, you know, hoping that the federal might will be put into this, and those that have been abducted will be rescued so that they can return to their families. I'm just hoping for a day where this kind of reports will be a thing of the past. Absolutely. That we will not be reading it as a news report.
We'll continue to hope for the best.
The second story this morning, governors spend 512 billion naira on travels offices in 6 months. 33 state governments spent at least 512 billion naira, 0.10 billion naira on government houses, governors' offices and travel and transport in the first 6 months of 2026, an amount about 4,713 times higher than the combined 6-month salary of Nigeria's 36 governors, an analysis of state budget implementation report shown on Monday. The analysis showed that while a governor's stated monthly salary of 503,000 translates to 3.018 million naira over 6 months, the combined 6-month salary of all 36 governors would amount to just 108.65 million naira. Against this, the available record showed that 420.01 billion naira was identified under Government House, Governor's Office and related executive administration expenditure, while another 92.09 billion naira was spent on the travel and transport budget heads. The combined amount stood at 512.1 billion naira, the 6-month salary of all 36 governors therefore represented only 0.2% of the identified expenditure on executive offices and travel. The figures offers a striking contrast to the ongoing debate over the official salaries of Nigerian governors. You see, let me just leave it here.
I find these reports, I find it very laughable. 503,000 naira. That's the monthly pay of our governors. Wow.
I just want to say Kuno. That's all I have to say. Uncle No.
People, are you not going to say anything?
No.
Don't have anything to say.
These are servants
I choose to stay dumb. You know, because when you see things like this, you shudder and you just ask yourself, wait a minute, what's going on? It just doesn't add up. With this huge amount of money, not salaries or
allowances.
For travels, for government houses, overhead, miscellaneous.
521
We will
billion
be
naira.
fine.
They're serving us well.
And here we are as a country saying that we lack good and motorable roads in some part of the country, and yet you are flaunting it before us that governors in Nigeria are receiving a paltry sum of 503,000 naira. And the Delta State governor, that was what annoyed me the most.
That's why I stopped reading it.
He even said that permanent secretaries in Delta State, their take-home pay per month is 900,000 naira, that they earn more than him. So all the mansions that you have,
so
all
if
the
you were
luxurious lifestyle that
so
you're
if you
funding,
were even to prorata how a permanent secretary rose to that position as to how you were elected into office, are they the same? Permanent secretaries are people who've slaved on the job. They've
over the years.
For them to have gotten to that position,
They deserve it.
They deserved,
Yeah.
they rose to those positions. They wrote examinations. They toiled. You were elected on a platter of gold, and you're saying their salaries
More than
are... Joy, please take your
well.
story. I mean...
All right, here in Lagos, very important. Lagos State government urges traditional birth attendants to refer high-risk pregnancies promptly. The Lagos State government has urged traditional birth attendants to strengthen referrals to health facilities when pregnant women develop complications, as new figures showing a sharp decline in TBA recorded antenatal registrations and deliveries raise concerns about how women are accessing maternal health care in parts of the state. The call was made by the Permanent Secretary, Health District 3, Dr. Monsurat Adeleke, at a stakeholders meeting with TBAs, where officials sought to determine whether the decline reflected a shift towards formal health facilities or whether some women were developing out of maternal care altogether. She disclosed that TBA recorded deliveries fell by 36% from 1,308 between January and July 2025 to 837 during the corresponding period of 2026. The decline was also reflected in antenatal registrations. Anyway, it's a long read, but what the state government is saying is that they are urging traditional birth attendants to refer high-risk pregnancies promptly. I saw a video online yesterday of a doctor who was talking about a woman who they had to take out her uterus because she was at the birth attendants, traditional birth attendants place for a long time, and it was her 6th pregnancy, and that baby was so big, and she was trying to deliver naturally, and so her womb ruptured. And to save her life, the baby died in the womb. To save her life, they had to take out her uterus. And again, in Lagos State, antenatal is free, right? And then I know there was a time that the state government said delivery is free.
You're talking to Abimbola, not me.
Okay, but there was a time the state government said delivery is free. I don't know if that still stands now. There is also...
Not CS.
If it's not CS. But even
I guess it depends on the hospital. Maybe you also need to just put government hospitals.
Government hospitals, of course, yes, so government hospitals. And even if you have to do CS, you have to enroll into the health insurance. That will also help to cut costs. But again, women have to wake up. This is about your life. You don't have to die trying to give birth.
I mean, as you call out women, I think I like the fact that the TBAs were engaged, but I think government also needs to start doing more. they've been told many times, escalate. You are TBAs, you are not doctors. And TBAs do not do surgeries. You're not allowed to cut anybody open. You're a TBA because you're licensed, and not all TBAs are licensed. So once you know that your power has passed this one, just escalate. And that's why there are health centers practically everywhere. So just escalate the situation to the nearest health center. And if the health center cannot take care of it, they would also escalate to a tertiary facility. But it's important that, yes, we need to call our mothers. We know you want to cut costs. And then sometimes you just feel that the TBAs are cheaper and more accessible. But if you ask me, for somebody who was delivering a sixth child.
Baby number 6.
In this Tinubu era.
Wow.
Okay.
Be fruitful and multiply.
And multiply.
Yeah.
What did they say that? How did they say that thing?
Multiply with sense.
Okay.
That is what I'll say.
6.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
I think government also needs to start sanctioning these TBAs. Once they know that you've done something that you shouldn't do, it's either your license is retrieved or you're not to practice for a few months. I think when these things also start getting some kind of penalties, people will sit up.
Yeah.
And they also have associations, hold their associations liable when things like this happen. And we cannot just continue to allow people to get, caught up in such webs. It just doesn't add up.
One important takeaway from Abimbola's submission this morning is the fact that these women or mothers also need to value their lives. Don't because of a cheap treatment that you're going to get somewhere, now risk your life and that of your baby or babies.
At least she was
If you go to
lucky
primary
to stay
healthcare center,
alive.
they are not going to charge you nothing.
And that's why
Even if
antenatal
they
is very
do,
important.
even if they
It's
do,
going to be
because
minimal.
yeah, they probably will also tell you to buy certain things.
Hey, you'll be buying now.
But at least you knew you were going to give birth, so you should have prepared for it for those 9 months. Anyway, let's go to the X platform this morning and take a look at one of the many trending stories there. For the second time running, this NBA conference is trending again. What did they do this time round? I remember during their election, we talked about their election, and now this conference is eliciting a lot of reactions. We talked about the fact that a lot of people had issues that VDM was invited, and yesterday again he still had to go and say what he said. And for me would be the fact that I liked the fact that 2 officers immediately got up and corrected that notion. And I also like the fact that I said, it means that if you agree that military officers are corrupt, then you lawyers are also corrupt. So it means that you cannot continue to generalize. And, one of the officers even went ahead to say that, yes, there might be bad eggs in the system, but you can't, because of that, then just say everybody like a blanket and say. So it just means that, and we've said it many times, this is where your own right stops, that another person's own starts. You can't open your mouth and say things that you cannot validate. And at the end of the day, he apologized for what he said. I just hope he will not get to another gathering and still open his mouth.
Would you blame VDM, if not the NBA, that invited him? I listened to some of the allegations that he raised yesterday, and in my mind, I was like, do you have pictures or evidences to back up what you are saying, until that officer rose up to challenge him that you cannot just make a blanket statement and say that every officers of the armed forces are corrupt. And I'm beginning to feel that something is wrong with the NBA hierarchy these days. Was it a year before or 2 years ago?
Which artist?
That Portable was invited to an NBA conference.
Yes, but it was Portable.
Are we okay?
Portable.
Now you invited VDM.
I didn't know Nigerians.
Okay. And they have a stake in the judiciary.
Yes.
Okay. Of all artists, they now invited Portable.
But people got up and they danced now. Me, I saw the video. Now did they dance? Anyways.
NBA.
You can go on the X platform this morning and take a further read on why NBA is trending on that platform. We'll take a quick break. We'll return. It'll be time to take a look at the column for today.